So this is a normal view you get when driving a BMW, but there's something different about this one. There's something missing that you always have when you're driving a BMW. Oh, wait, there it is. There's the light on the dash. So it's time for brakes on the E92. I went ahead and ordered this kit online from A1 Auto. It is drill slotted rotors and I think ceramic brake pads. So it's labeled as performance, but we'll see. It's about the same price as the OEM replacements for this car, so we'll see if we get any actual gains out of it. But first of all, I'm gonna toss the car up on jack stands and take the wheels off. All right, so I got the car all the way up in the air. All the wheels are off and we're ready to start. But first, I made sure I opened up the lid on the brake fluid reservoir. This just makes it easier for the piston to push back out since there's an opening in the system. We're gonna go ahead and start on the front. My light just died on me, so now I have multiple lights working here, but I'll try to get the best angles I can for you guys. Also, please ignore how dirty this car is. I live in Ohio and I wash it and the next day it gets covered in salt and dirt and everything on the road all over again. First, I'm gonna start by popping the spring out here and make sure you cover it up so it doesn't fly at you when it comes off. Set that to the side. Now on the back of the caliper itself, there are two 7mm Allen bolts. They're both covered by dust caps, so we just gotta pop those off with this flat head. That's what they look like right there. You don't pop the whole thing off. There's just a cap that goes inside of the little rubber grommet. So after that, we're gonna take a 7mm Allen head on a socket. We're gonna go ahead and pop those off real quick. On these pins, you're gonna back them all the way out of here. Set those to the side. Put those out. And next, we're gonna take a flat head and pry the brake pads a little away from the rotor itself. And I'm not too worried about scratching anything because it's all getting replaced. So I think, I can't find the bungee cord, so I think what I'm actually gonna do is just zip tie it up to the spring or something. There we go. So now we got the caliper tied up. It is just hanging on the zip ties. There's no weight on the brake line itself, but popping the brake pads out, which the other one is gonna be here in the caliper. Next, we can remove these two bolts holding the caliper bracket. I'm gonna pop these off. So got those two bolts. Now, caliper bracket comes off. Oh, cool. There we go. All right. Old rotor off. Now I'm gonna clean everything up. I'm gonna sand down and clean up with brake parts cleaner and then toss the new rotor on. Clean all that off. Make sure we have a flat surface for our new rotor to sit on. So one other thing I forgot to mention while taking off the caliper itself was the brake pad wear sensor. It's on the front driver's side and the back passenger side. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the box where the plug is and unplug it. So it is back here. You can see my screwdriver. There's just a clip and you can just lift it from the back. Disconnect that just by pushing the plastic connectors. And there we go. And I actually broke it off, which is probably the easiest way to do it without it getting in the way of everything. You need to replace these when you replace the brakes anyways. So we have the new rotor here. Slide the rotor on. snug. And there we go. We're gonna go ahead and compress the piston all the way before we do anything else. All right, and there we have it. Piston is fully compressed. Next, we're gonna go ahead and remount the caliper bracket. There we go. Make sure your rotor free spins freely. There is the first pad mounted in the caliper, second pad mounted. And next we're gonna wanna grab our new brake pad sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and take our pins, and the longer one goes in the bottom because there are two different lengths. And you're gonna wanna wipe these down and grease them before you put them in too. And we are good. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the springs back in, and just make sure you're holding them down because they will fly off at you. So, and we're just gonna wipe the whole thing down with brake parts cleaner, and then plug this sensor in first actually. So we're just routing this back along with the factory clips. One last part that you don't want to forget about would be those dust caps. And it is good to go. And that is it. So we're gonna go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side, and then I'll go to the back. All right, there we go, and got the other front on. Now moving to the back. So the backs are pretty similar to the fronts. The springs are just a little bit different. Unlike the fronts. Same thing, place it right on. I don't know why I use the brake bar to do this. All right. All right, so for this brake burst insert, it is that line on the bottom there. So all we're gonna do is take that 8mm screw out so we can pull the fender aligner, and then just unplug it and replug the new one in. All right, so I just finished up all of the brakes. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheels on, get the car on the ground, and then it is almost 2 in the morning now. So I will come back to you guys with an update tomorrow, and we'll get them bedded in and ready to go. No lights on the dash. All right, so it has been about a week of driving on the new brakes. I'm actually walking out of school now to turn in some paperwork, but I am back at the car now, so I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you guys what the brakes look like. So I'm really happy with how they came out. I drove on them for a couple days and wore all of the coating off, like the paint, whatever they put on from factory, to keep them from rusting in the warehouse or whatever the reasoning is, I don't know. But I bedded them in, and I will say I'm actually very impressed with the performance of these brakes. I have not tried any like track driving or anything like that where they're gonna experience a lot of heat, where the drilled part of the rotors is gonna help with cooling them down. But so far, with just stopping performance and hard street driving, they definitely make a huge difference with the feel of the car.